I see that it's in progress.
Mhm.
Yeah, now it started.
Recording is active, so we
Mhm.
can start. So, what may I say? If you are watching this, you either care about the future of HR or just clicked out of curiosity. Either way, welcome. Today, we're diving into the global hiring era. What's changing, what's coming, and how to stay ahead. And our speaker is Yulia Garitaya. Yulia, forgive me if I pronounced
Yeah,
your
Gareta,
surname.
Gareta.
Garita.
Yes.
Yep, a standout in talent acquisition and HR strategy. And she's here to unpack scalable hiring, global trends, and emerging roles like AI trainers, which is really interesting for our session today. Yulia, great to have you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you. Thank you for
joining.
inviting me.
You're welcome. Let's get started then. So, when preparing for this webinar, I had good chat with my relatives. I would say that decades ago, our parents and grandparents flipped through yellow pages to call employers and land a job. Now it's
Mhm.
easier. Yet in 2025, both job seekers and HR professionals should master digital platforms, AI-driven analytics, and more for the hiring process. Yet, unfortunately, even with that, it doesn't always lead to truly well-matched high-quality hires. Yulia, how can companies effectively identify and attract top talent in diverse regions, especially when cultural and economic differences come into play?
Mhm. I would recommend to I would recommend companies and hiring managers and recruiters, so everyone, and of course people who apply to different roles, to be very clear with themselves. For example, if you are an international company and you can hire employees all over the world, I would recommend to start with understanding the regions where would you like to attract talents, because of course based on the level of economy you can attract people in the US and let's imagine in Bulgaria. Yeah, of course you will pay different amount of money to these people. So first of all, I would recommend, yeah, to understand how much money do you have and what particular competences are you looking for. I will give my personal example. So as a hiring manager, I understand that um, I need to attract senior recruiters. And this is not a unique expertise. You can find them all over the world. So I would prefer to look for them in more cheap locations. And right now I have a team. So I mentioned Bulgaria. Yeah, this is the reason. Armenia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and other locations. But if we're talking about niche expertise, of course, it's more difficult to find them. Then I would recommend to look globally. Also, you mentioned that we live in the AI world, in the AI era, and yeah, I hope to tell you more about it during our webinar. So before you hire, I would also recommend to think if you really need to hire this person. Maybe first of all, you can look for any AI tools which can replace, not 100%, of course, because we need to manage these AI tools, but at the same time, yeah, can we optimize this workload? Can we find an AI tool and do not involve manual actions there? Again, I had the one I'm talking about because I had the same example, and I was the person who tried to persuade my colleagues and hire the technical specialist. And thanks to my colleague who told me, no, Yulia, let's please spend 2 weeks and optimize the process and like eliminate a lot of manual work, create the automated workflows in Jira, and we really did this. And now, so we do not spend extra money. We do not work with too many people because again, it's a complicated process. But yeah, we have automations in place, and the process keeps going. So it is working. So the first, yeah, consider if you really need to hire someone. The second thing, think about the region. Where would you like to hire talents? And also, I would recommend to think about cultural differences. Again, based on my experience, for example, right now my team is mostly located in CIS region, and we hired recruiters from South Africa. They are very good performers, very good competences, but we realized that we have different culture, and it's a bit difficult to work together. So then again, yeah, please, so those who are watching our webinar, be clear with yourself. And look at your core team. If you would like to change maybe the culture of your team, it's of course okay to hire people from different cultures. Yeah, if you would like to make this change, but if you would like to keep growing within your current structure, then I recommend to choose similar cultures. Again, if we're talking about Europe, candidates, experts in Portugal and Spain, they're a bit different than candidates in Poland, for example. Yeah, so they are all good, but I mean, they have different way of work. So this is the reason, yeah, why the company should identify their own strategy first of all.
Thanks a lot, Yulia. Smells really interesting, especially from the point of cultural differences, because you met this experience.
Yeah.
So experience means a lot in these cases rather than theory from the internet or from ChatGPT. So when it comes to businesses, for sure, I see as long as businesses are run by people, still recruitment and HR need a human touch, especially when attractive top talents. While preparing for this webinar, to be honest, I explored a lot of content on current trends in recruitment and HR. There were a lot of words regarding automation. Honestly, it's striking how much of this content is AI generated and how often it lacks depth or credibility. That's why I'd rather rely on insights from real professionals as our listeners, I guess. Hans, here is a question to you. We've talked about process automation tools, right? Yet when it comes to the strategies, what are your top strategies for speeding up the hiring process without compromising on candidate quality?
Yeah, very, very good question. Thank you. So I would recommend here to start with different hypotheses. So imagine that you're a product manager, yeah, and you have your own product. Of course, you have different hypotheses to test before you go and scale the particular one. So in hiring, again, yeah, how to balance, because this is the question I ask myself like every day, how to find the balance, especially in mass hiring, yeah, because I'm like, my whole background is about mass hiring here. Of course, when you're talking about huge funnels, you need to be very clear about the level of quality you would like to maintain. So if you start hiring someone, and sometimes hiring managers, they do not know the exact profile, or they have an idea of some unicorn they would like to attract, and then in the reality they see that candidates do not apply. Maybe the company is small, and so I mean different factors. So I would start with up to 3 hypotheses, and as a mass hiring lead, so what I recommend to all the people, you can post 3 different vacancies with different job titles and see how they apply. And then, okay, you realize that the first one performs better, then you can scale, for example, this job title, and this profile. So before we start, and for example, if you have in your company recruiters who will spend a lot of time on interviewing people, my recommendation is to start from the profile and see if there is a good match before the recruiter will schedule a lot of interviews to screen people and then to share to the hiring manager. So understand the profile, because I saw so many cases when people have an imagination whom they're looking for, and then they spend a lot of hours interviewing people, and they realize that, okay, no, this is not the best profile, but they should consider this at the very beginning and always provide the feedback. This is a very basic recommendation, but unfortunately hiring managers do not follow this recommendation all the time. They are so busy with their business and like very important tasks. But at the same time, when you are hiring, you need to provide a constant feedback to the recruiter, or if you're doing this by yourself, just please ask yourself all the time, okay, so why I spent 1 hour on the interview, but the profile is not the one I'm looking for. So it's okay to try to test with, I don't know, up to 3 candidates, but then clearly understand whom you're looking for. And the second recommendation from my side, for example, how I save some time when you need to scale the team and you do not have a lot of time. So what I do usually, I have a shorter version of the interview, so 30 minutes only, because usually, so on the market, I see that hiring managers conduct interviews during 1 hour, but I created my own short list of questions I ask, and how I created this short list. And this is my recommendation for everyone. Just test with different candidates, and then you realize, okay, what is important for you, what is important for your company, and for you as a manager, which is, again, I would like to highlight this, because in one company there are different managers. Of course, they are synchronized by one culture, but at the same time they are different. So please create your own short list of questions. So what I usually ask, I ask about the next step in candidate's career. Why I am asking this question? Because I would like to know how our role will be an impact to their future step, their future career. And if I see that they are going to another direction, I will not hire this person just because this person will spend time like for free, and this will not be like a part of their journey. Also, I ask about red flags on their previous jobs, because I think it's important to know and compare with our reality, because of course every company has its own advantages and disadvantages, red flags, of course. So this is the reason why we need to be very clear and compare. And also depending on the role, but I always ask about achievements and see the level of seniority this person can take. So I would say that, these are my top three questions. And about the markets, I would add maybe to my previous answer. So when you're looking for a balance between quality, speed, and quantity of professionals you hire to your team, please think about regions, because you can find, you can pay less, but for very, very good quality of the work, of course, depending on the time zones. But if you have this opportunity, why not? I will tell you more about the AI future, but I'm a bit not scared, not concerned, but I would like to highlight this. I think in several years' time, or maybe in 1 year, who knows, we will see. So there will be more AI tools and automations, and we will need to decrease our costs and replace some specials. I'm not talking about tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and so on. I'm talking about the rest of the companies. I think to scale, it's better to think wise, whom I'm gonna attract and why this person exactly.
Fully agree with you. There is nothing to disagree with, to be honest. And when we're talking about this quality, it's always about skills that people need to meet the expectations of this job and this employer. And maybe you've heard this, the World Economic Forum has estimated that 65% of children entering primary school today will end up working in new job types that don't yet exist. So that's why future-focused hiring also depends on smart screening and effective online interviews. And your questions that you are raising within the sessions with your candidates are really important to uncover their hidden capacities and opportunities, right? And skills they maybe haven't trained yet, right? before introducing themselves to you and your brand. So that's important. When we are talking about automation, this is a really important question, because everyone wants, I mean, in terms of businesses, everyone wants to optimize costs and hiring costs, right? And to reduce them. We will talk about examples of big sharks within the session, yet it's clear that new tech is clearly speeding things up, kind of CV screening, interview scheduling, and more, even making up follow-up emails. Sometimes it helps and you win, but unfortunately, if you over-automate the process, you risk losing the human side of it all. And candidates feel it. They feel it. Trust me. You might end up with bias or just the wrong people in the pipeline, and it smells like with your deep experience and long years, you maybe also meant the same. With some of your candidates, right? Because experience is experience, right? You can take insights only after making some steps. And let's be real, companies still want quality. And that's great that you raised this question about the compromise and trade-off between quality and quantity and what you need for this. So when we're talking about this process automation, besides the internal tools you're using, kind of dashboards, Atlassian tools, and so on, how can recruiters use technologies to benefit mass hiring while still ensuring a human touch in the process, not to lose good candidates and avoid biases?
Yeah, very good question. So I will separate the recruitment into two parts. The first one is an executive search, when let's imagine that you need to hire head of marketing. And the second approach, the second strategy is mass hiring, when you attract interns, for example, to your company. And in the first scenario, especially when the company is like medium size or small, I strongly recommend to keep the personal touch there, because the person, the human, can tell you more about the role. And if you do not know the company name, so some candidates have this bias and will not apply. But when you see the real person, for example, how we are talking today with you, and we can share the mission, the strategy of the company, and like be open, because humans, of course, they feel everything. You can tell something, but when you look at the eyes of another person, they can feel everything. I strongly recommend to mostly medium and small companies to have interviews with the real person. Then again, it's based on the budget. If we have the recruitment team, then perfect. If not, I know that a lot of founders, they have interviews by themselves. It's also okay, because you can again sell the role, tell more about the opportunity. For example, in my experience with mass hiring of different professions, but when the hiring volume is in thousands of people we attract. So I see your emotions. So all the time when I grow in my career, the bar, how many, so the volume is growing. And right now I reached 10K. 10K per year. Last time, so the speed of hiring in my team was 1K. Now 10K, and I can only imagine what's next. But there are some companies who attract this amount of, not, of course, I mean, like employees, who work for huge list of tasks. Of course. So when we're talking about mass hiring, this is a particular professions in the world, but at the same time. So in the mass hiring approach, it's okay to use some AI tools, because otherwise you will end up having a huge and enormous recruitment team. So this is the reason why a lot of companies who attract mass hiring types of professions, they have AI interviews, for example, or automated funnels with test assignments inside. So but again, on the other hand, yeah, when we're talking about other businesses, also huge corporations as well, yeah, when they attract, let's imagine, senior developer, senior Python developer, yeah, people really need a human touch. And what I hear from different places, that in the AI world, when you see a real human, so yeah, it's so valuable, because every day we receive notifications and some ads about new AI tool which can generate images for you, and reply on emails for you. So all these tools, and this market will be growing. But yeah, of course, when you talk human to human, this is an additional value we can bring during the hiring process. Right now, there are a lot of tools which can give us the feeling that we're talking to humans, but yeah, some tools are not so developed, and we see that this is like a chatbot and not a real person. So again, as always, we need to find a balance if you are an entrepreneur or head of the department in a company. So please have one-to-one interviews, but at the same time use AI tools which can eliminate a lot of manual work. I mentioned before. For example, in my team, we're using AI to screen CVs, because yeah, there are thousands of CVs, and with the AI tool, it's faster, just 1 second, and all CVs are screened. Then again, depending on the company size, if you can buy the ATS system, so the system where you store candidates and work with them, I strongly recommend to choose the tool where AI AI instruments are implemented. So again, a real example. So we use Workable as a tool, and it has two very good features. So the first one is AI score. So the candidate profile, the CV, is compared to the job description, and I see the score, for example, 85% match, and there is a checklist, so I can see that there is a match based on their education, experience, but maybe not so good English proficiency level. So yeah, this is a very good signal for the recruiter, for the hiring manager, yeah, how to save time, because you write the job description, and again, there are a lot of tools in LinkedIn as well, how you can update and enhance your job description with AI. So then you have very fancy job description. Then yeah, the profile could be again checked using the AI, and then you have the short list of very good talents you can have interview with. So again, yeah, my recommendation is to, as soon as we live in the AI world, use all of the advantages of it, and yeah, automate some manual process where we do not need to involve a lot of efforts, yeah, for the basic tasks, and keep only strategic tasks where really we need the person's background, like brain education and so on. You also mentioned about the background of people, for example, the children, yeah, who right now
Our future employees, your future candidates.
Future. And I have a sister, she's 10 years old. And to be honest, so as a career advisor, I don't know, I would recommend her to maybe go to and receive the bachelor degree. So, but choose the profession, like a very wide profession where she can develop her brain and have a structure, mindset, critical thinking. So mostly develop her fundamental skills, because we don't know what's going to happen next. I think all the companies and people in the world will use AI tools for manual work, and we need competencies of prompt engineering. And so all the professions which are related to management, where you know how to delegate tasks. So all these professions are crucial, and if you're growing in your career and you are the manager, so I recommend to develop these skills further, because later, I imagine the world in companies when we are like managers of different funnels of different AI agents inside. So coming back to my sister, I would recommend her to have some degree, maybe in science or in computer science or in natural science disciplines, or computer science, to have a wide expertise, and then understand what is her passion, and maybe go to a particular online course to understand and to learn particular to develop particular skills, and then work with these skills. So I think it's like a combination between fundamental education and micro learning based on the market needs. So we will see another future, a completely different future in 5 years. This is like my prediction.
That's a great prediction. I would say that if we have our school-aged listeners, so this webinar, they'll definitely take all the necessary efforts to get prepared for their math exam, because STEM specialties, they're really creating this fundament inside your brain, helping you to systematically learn, systematically apply this learning, right? So that's really important. That's great that you raised the question of the automation and even shared your experience of working with particular tools, since our listeners can already now, after the session, start leveraging the same tools, testing them at least, or kind of arranging this hypothesis check, right? Further checking conversion rates and understanding whether this is a good quality for them, right? To start applying this officially, commercially, and subscribe to these tools. We both understand that in large companies, it's not just realistic for recruiters to manually go through every CV and talk to every single candidate, especially when it comes to thousands or tens of thousands CVs per day, per year, per half a year, and so on. So it depends on the company, and for sure it's great where that automation comes in this place. What we should also discuss here, it seems like a very important point, that I've seen how process automation splits opinions, to be honest. So really, some worry that thinking machines are replacing people and changing what companies look for in talent. If that's true, we really need to rethink how we learn, apply knowledge, and build adaptable skills. And it's great that you are opening the doors for those who are just at the start of their career, right? To know that really skills matters, and lifelong learning is a very important and essential skill for their future CV in order to catch and get onboarded to the right employer. Many of these technologies, especially AI, are still new, and real expertise is in short supply. So while tech may replace some roles, it's also opening doors to entirely new ones. Here's a good question to you, Yulia. There are a lot of papers highlighting AI trainers as a new profession. In your opinion, who can become an AI tutor, and how does it set you apart as a professional?
This AI tutor role is so interesting, not only because you can educate AI, but also because this is a real profession we have right now, and I'm not sure if we're going to have this profession in 3 years or maybe in 2 years. Why? So what AI tutors do? So mostly they are freelancers. So if you are an employee and you have a full-time job, you can be an AI tutor, or if you are on a maternity leave, again, you can be an AI tutor. If you are a student, again, this is a part-time job, you can be an AI tutor. So doesn't matter how old you are. So I know the example of one professor. I don't know, I think he's 65 years old, and he was an
Wow.
amazing AI tutor in the ESG field, so like a very unique one. And I know that everyone loved him due to his experience. So what AI tutors do, they educate the AI. Let's imagine ChatGPT, and if you use this tool, you see how it's growing months over months. And what AI tutors do for ChatGPT or for other huge LLMs, they provide content which is generated just by them based on their background, on their education experience, and so on. And these pieces of information, they are united into like huge funnel and huge data set, and then this data set helps, let's imagine, ChatGPT to evolve. And of course, these huge models, they are divided into different domains, like professions, categories. And AI tutors, the advantage of this role, and you can apply, there are a lot of companies on the market where you can find an AI tutor role and apply. So these experts can write correct answers to the prompts. Let's imagine if you're an expert in sales, you can write the right answer to the prompt in sales. Or maybe you're an expert in some hobbies, or in engineering or in STEM disciplines, or you're just a copywriter who can write different texts on different topics. So the advantage of this role is that you can be an expert in any discipline and be an impact to this AI, to this AI world. This is the first advantage. The second one, I've already mentioned, that you can work remotely, part-time, and have an additional income. Why not? And the third advantage is basically the question a lot of professionals ask me. So how, if I'm working on my current job and the company is not moving forward so fast to the automation, so how can I be in this trend? So I don't want to lose future opportunities. For example, if I would like to change my company and so on, and they try to buy some online course, which is very, very well. And an additional suggestion for these people is to apply for an AI tutor role and have this freelance experience as an additional line in your LinkedIn or in your CV. So your future employer will see that, okay, you're not only an expert in your profession, you also know more about AI, because so I think the whole world is divided into several parts. The first one implements AI tools in their day-to-day life, in their business, and so on. The second part thinks about this reality the same maybe as crypto or any other like trends, that okay, maybe this is a trend, but then they're going to be in the next trend, like AR, VR. I remember several years ago the world was talking about AR and VR technologies a lot. So the second category of the world, maybe they think that this is a new trend, but then there will be something new. So I do not to invest a lot of efforts into implementing AI tools. And maybe the third category is struggling and cannot understand the way they should deal with this new reality. So, but my strong recommendation is to try. So first of all, maybe test different AI tools you can use for your business, for your life. So For example, I use not only ChatGPT, but also an app which generates photos, because as a head of quite a big department, I do not have a lot of free time, but I would like to post and share my thoughts on social media. So I use this app to generate photos for me. So, and they look very real, and my friends and even parents cannot understand whether this is a real photo or AI generated one. So yeah, we use AI tools for your daily life, and try yourself and apply for an AI tutor role, because again, I'm not sure if we're gonna have this profession in several years a period of time. Why? Because 1 year ago, AI tutors, so they needed to have only a bachelor degree, and let's imagine several years of experience. Right now, AI models are so clever, then the minimal criteria for AI tutors is having a master's degree and more years of experience. And specialists with PhD are very welcome. And let's imagine what's going to happen in 1 year. Maybe only PhD experts, specialists, they can make an impact to AI models because they are extremely clever. And again, if we compare tasks for these AI tutors, last time they can create the correct answers to quite basic prompts, but right now, so I read several prompts. They are extremely complex. It looks like an exam in the university. So an exam, and I would say on the fourth grade, not on the first grade. So prompts are becoming, tasks are becoming more complex, and this is the reason why I strongly recommend to jump on this wave and add an AI tutor experience to your CV for sure. And I think it's very interesting to be a part of this community, because when everyone is talking about AI, you can be a part of this community and contribute your knowledge, not just thinking about AI, how it can replace us, but be a part of this wave.
That kind of change in the career reality and the approach to applying your skills makes reskilling more important than ever. And I tried to compare the past productions with the current state. So back in 2017, McKinsey and Company predicted that up to 375 million people might need to change careers by 2030, depending on how fast automation rolls out. Look around what we have now.
Yeah.
In the past few years, companies like Microsoft, Meta, OpenAI, and Apple have all cut jobs, often to reduce costs and funnel resources into innovation, meaning that more and more companies are aiming to upgrade themselves, upgrade their businesses with new technologies, and this way allowing or maybe kind of forcing their employees to develop their skills on a lifelong manner. When we are talking about AI as a part of this innovation, it's clear that AI is shifting how leaders show up for their teams, both in the office and remotely. And let's be honest, HR, unfortunately, and recruiters, they can't save everyone's role that tech makes redundant. But what they can do is support people through the change. So because how your team feels day to day still drives the business. That's why it's a good moment to rethink the soft skills leaders actually use in practice in order to either convince or force or show the advantages of applying new technologies in our daily activities to help our employees to reskill, upskill, and maybe upgrade themselves for driving employers' business. So, Yulia, what are some soft power principles you've seen really work when leading teams across time zones and cultures, and especially when we're touching the point of digital transformation in the companies?
Mm-hmm. So what, for example, I apply in my role of a leader. I show my team the empathy. So I will share with you a real example of this week. So I realized that we are in a chaos, a lot of changes, transformations, and this is like huge level of stress. And I will also make one step back. So COVID happened, then a lot of crises, political crises in different countries. Right now, this AI transformation, technical revolution, it's a lot for us to process. As humans, it's very, very difficult to go through all of these changes. So I realized that my team is struggling, and they really need not just a clear strategy from my side, but just the personal support. So what I did, I wrote a message for every my team member. So this was like a post in Slack, and I highlighted to everyone that there are a lot of changes, and you receive a constant feedback how to become better. Of course, when you live in the AI world, you try to maybe not in the AI world, just in our reality, you try to be better from week to week, from time to time. But I try to support them and highlight where we are good at right now, what are our current achievements, like today, and in this week of June. So and then I tagged everyone and shared just one sentence, several lines for every team member, and this was done in a very right moment, because then the team, I see the increase in their energy, because seems that they really needed this kind of support, not just clear tasks and clear feedback, because all the managers, of course, this is our basic tasks, to set the right strategy, to understand the deadlines, to give them resources. So a checklist of a good team leader, but also like real leaders, they need to feel the energy of the team, and there is no right example and methodology. So in my opinion, a good leader should feel the energy of the team and give them sometimes support, like in this example. Sometimes they should highlight risks and responsibility. So it's always we're like surfers. I'm talking about this several times during the webinar, but we really need to find a balance. Sometimes it's better to show your empathy, but in other cases you need to remind them about KPIs, targets, again, strategy, and so on. So talk with your people, and as a manager who has several team leads in my team, and I try to be in touch not only with my 4 team leads, but also with their team members from time to time, to understand what they're feeling, because this is the whole system, and I would like to hear all levels of the system, what they're feeling, and how I as a leader can help them bring value to the company faster and more, and feel themselves more comfortable. So I really like this topic of leadership, because this is very a complex one. There are a lot of books I read, and a lot of trainings I attended, and the one conclusion I can make here is to be open and hear your people. It's great when leaders have have the understanding and necessary skills, so all the tools in their mind. At the same time, we need to think when we should use a particular tool, particular approach, a particular instrument, and so on. Because when the team does not have energy, or when they are frustrated and they have enough competences but they do not know how to implement them, then just you will not receive the highest result you can receive. And especially in this digital era, when there are a lot of information, so what I also try to do with my team is try to avoid their burnout as well, because of course we are responsible. So yeah, I think the responsibility distributes into two parts. So I have 50% of responsibility, and the person also has 50% of their responsibility. So I can tell several times, please take a vacation, but the person can just keep working. Yeah, and I can tell the not 10 times but 11 times, but I mean the person also should take their own decisions. So yeah, it's about the clarity and the communication between managers and team members to reduce this huge gap. Sometimes, yeah, companies have just hear your people.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Yulia. It's really important. It smells like everyone needs such a team leader who will forces him to go on vacation.
Yeah,
Finally, go on your vacation and just switch off everything, log out everything. That's essential that you're raising this experience-based cases, because with them, our listeners, and not only them, but those who are in the same professional line and the same professional stage, can really learn from this experience to understand how it's better on the one side to build trust and supportive leadership strategies, on the other side to create this prevention steps and all the apply prevention measures to avoid sabbaticals and burnout at the workplaces, because it's really important, not only for supporting the current team, right? Not only for attracting the new candidates, but also for retaining the existing teammates, and really encouraging them to work on daily basis, driving the business processes. That's a really valid point. Thank you, Yulia. I've heard of professionals starting side businesses as a way to create additional income. Sometimes it's not only for that. Sometimes it's because of they having kind of a burnout strategy, and they are facing the difficulties of innovating something new at their current employers' places. And this way they're finding and looking for some side opportunities. Some of them, I mean, those who are having their side businesses, some succeed and eventually transition away from their full-time jobs. However, others don't find the same success and choose to return to traditional employment. Yulia, a question to you. What are your thoughts on side hustles in a specialist's career? And do companies value successful or failed business owners who are now returning to the corporate world?
Yeah, I will answer this question. And I also remember one more thought I would like to add to the previous question about burning out. Yeah, the last recommendation is to think about all the challenges we have, not like a sprint, because you can, at the end of the sprint, in 2 months, you have zero energy and you cannot continue. But think about a marathon. Yeah, so like all CEOs of huge companies, they know that it's not a sprint, but they have, of course, sprints during the whole year. But to be able to bring value to the world on the long term, long-term destination, you need to hear signals from your body as well, and take a break when you need this break, a day off, and go outside of your city for some spa, for a swimming pool. It's like only one day, but you can recharge your battery and keep growing. This is the advice my previous manager gave to me, and I'm so grateful for her, because I remember when I was burning out with the one project, and she told me that, Yulia, you're gonna have several more projects with the same intensity this year, so think about how you can maintain your level of energy, how you can delegate some tasks, how you can eliminate some unnecessary tasks and focus only on key things which can help you to reach your goal. So this is an important thing, and I repeat this to my team. I think every week that we are here not only for this particular project, for this sprint, but for the whole marathon. So our goal is to be able to run till the end of the year, and then the next and the next year. And yeah, coming back to the question about side hustle activities, I think so. As a person who had my own business, I had a small recruitment agency several years ago, and I failed with this experience. Then I moved and came back to my corporate career. It was a very tough year for my life, but now, after several years, I realized that if you have an experience of entrepreneur or freelancer, it can give an additional value to your corporate career. And I suggest to think about these two formats as a formats, not as only one option you consider. Why? Because I was the person who considered only one option. I thought, oh no, I will not I don't want to continue having a corporate career. Yes, I'm a blogger, I'm an entrepreneur. So yeah, and I was, I think, 22 years old. So yeah, you can imagine this wife of the 22 years old girl. But yeah, I'm anyways, I'm satisfied with this experience, because based on this experience, I know how to take the responsibility. I know how to lead a team and consider all the factors in parallel when you're not only a manager who is responsible for your particular tasks, but when you should think about the budget, about the team, whether you can hire or not, or you should maybe update the size of your team, then marketing, yes, sales. So you're thinking about different factors in parallel, and you're thinking about operational tasks and also how your business is going to grow. So I would say that these skills are very important for managers in companies as well. And huge corporations, they also sometimes they have, and I would say that companies like Google and other huge corporations, they have small startup departments inside. Why even huge corporations have these departments? Because they have a hypothesis, maybe they have a product manager who leads this business direction, and they have money, which is good, so they do not need to go and look for an investor. In case of like small startups, the company can donate and give money for this experiment, and then this small department can grow into a huge department and business inside the corporation. And this how a lot of products have grown inside the corporation. And for so as a recruiter, as a person from the recruitment sphere, if I let's imagine that I have a vacancy to find a person, let's imagine a product manager for this new department in Google. I do not work in Google, but just let's imagine as an example. So I would look for people who have entrepreneurial experience in their background, because they know how to live in this instability, where you have just an idea, okay, maybe some resources, and you need to build everything from scratch. So there are two mindsets. The first mindset is an entrepreneurial one, and these people are like best of the best and growing products from 0 to 1. But then there is another category of people who they do not have competences how to build from 0 to 1, but they can grow from 0 to 10, or they can grow from 10 to 100. So and three categories, not two. So they all are about different skill set persons have. And again, as a specialist, I would recommend to be very clear with yourself and understand where I'm good at. Maybe I'm good at scaling systems, but maybe I'm good at building these systems from scratch, and this is the reason why your extra activities, except of your, for example, corporate career, can give an impact to your current career or to your future opportunities. So I suggest everyone to hear ourselves and understand where I would like to move on next, what assets I would like to build. Maybe I need to expand my network and start blogging, because later, companies, they like influencers a lot, because these people have a wide network and subscribers, and they can add maybe new clients or new candidates to the current business. So if you have any interest in your life, maybe not connected to your current profession, but another activity, maybe your hobby, you can sell then products of your hobby as well. So my recommendation is to understand your natural talents and your interests and follow these interests, because your corporate career or entrepreneurship, this is the format how you can bring your ideas to life, bring your competences to life. So it's okay to combine, especially in this new reality. I think to have an additional way of income is always a good strategy. And Renata, could you tell about it? Because I see that you have a LinkedIn page with a lot of subscribers, and I know that you have a career. Why you decided to combine both ways, your podcast, your webinars, and your career?
I fully agree with everything you shared, because indeed the network you are building is important and is essential. And why that's interesting to investigate the candidates who are having their own kind of business, own experience of failures and so on, because they already made their own mistakes and they can protect you from making these mistakes in your own business, and they're already well equipped for protecting your budgets, your money, because only the person who feels and treats this money, I mean businessman monies, as money as their selves, right? They can really understand what to do. So when you go to an employer and you want to take any management role, and you really need to be aware of this feelings of protection of this business, because business owners and stakeholders, they give you this trust, and they dedicate you this trust of their business running in order to raise their results in the long run. So people with their background and experience, especially in building business, are really important and essential. However, it's always the matter of a good match between both, and chemistry between an employee and employee. So fully agree with this. And for sure, I'll chat more, Yulia, yet the timing whispers to wrap up already. Let's wrap up. Here is a 1-minute recommendation. What's one piece of advice you'd give to recruiters and HRs starting to navigate the global labor market for the first time? We're talking about those who are the parts of big companies or small companies, but who are navigating the networking part and the candidate search part. So bearing in mind the automation we discussed, bearing in mind the skills we elaborated on, what's your piece of advice to them?
A very good question, because I'm thinking about several things right now. If I need to give one advice, I would give the advice to be very clear with your candidates, and if your company has some strengths and some weaknesses, be very clear with them, because I heard about a lot of stories when very good professionals, they had to leave the company because at the beginning the reality recruiter or the hiring manager sold to them was different than so the idea was different than the reality they face during the work, and then they have to invest additional efforts and find another job, and of course it takes a lot of mental energy, time, and so on. So the one recommendation will be to be very clear with your candidates, and be open. Candidates will value this a lot if you're an open-minded person and share things how they are, of course highlighting advantages this candidate can take and how this candidate can grow within your team.
It was a real pleasure talking with you today, Yulia. Huge thanks for your time, for all your recommendations, for all your insights. It means a lot to our listeners and to people who are just launching their career path, who are at the beginning or who already made some progress in their career and want to upgrade and take another steps. To everyone watching, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. You can also share this recording with your career mates or with your friends, just to let them know what to expect from the future hiring. And remember, smart people management is for never stop learners. If that's not you, well, you might be on the wrong planet. So bye for now, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.